Hello everyone, welcome to Block and Key. This is part 3 of a 3-part series of how to install Bitcoin C Lightning with a full node, Bitcoin full node. In my first video, we discussed how to set up a full node on a Proxmox virtual environment. And then in my second video, I showed how to install C Lightning on a separate server that uses RPC calls to connect through to your full node. In this video, we're going to cover how to connect to a node on Lightning, fund payment channels, get routes, as well as make payments. And near the end, we're going to install Spark Wallet, which is a graphical interface that you can use on your mobile device or on your PC through a web browser. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We'll see you in a bit. So before we get started here, if you recall from my first and second video, how to install Proxmox, here we're running our Bitcoin full node on VMID 150, and 151 is our C Lightning node. So for convenience, I'm going to SSH into here so we can run some of our commands. Being as this should already be running, I guess we can go in and take a look real quick. So if we go into the console, so if you recall from my second video, once this is executed in the terminal through the console, just minimize it and you should be all good. So from here, I'm going to bring up a shell terminal. We're going to SSH in to our C Lightning node. Okay, so I'm just going to expand this a little bit. So this is our home directory when you first logged in, if you recall from my last video. We're going to change to our Lightning directory. So once we're in here, I touch upon some basic commands. But some examples right now is we can list peers. So the commands to use the command line interface for Lightning, CLI/lightning -CLI. You can go list peers. Obviously, we have no peers. Another one is we need to create a new address so we can transfer some Bitcoin to our Lightning wallet. So you just hit the up arrow key on your keyboard. Just going to remove this part. We're going to get new ADDR, which is a new address. So first we need to grab some Bitcoin, transfer it to this receiving address. I think this is a Bech32 address. And once that's done, I'm going to pause this video and we'll come back. We should have some confirmations. And I'll just show you that since we haven't transferred anything to here yet, so if we do CLI/lightning-CLI list funds, we have no funds. So when we come back, once I transfer some Bitcoin to here, you should see that we have some funds, and then we're going to connect to a node and create our first payment channel. Okay, so that took about, usually you want to wait about 4 to 6 confirmations. So now we're going to issue that command again to list funds. You should see now that we have some transactions that I transferred 650,000 Satoshis to this wallet. It's been confirmed. Another command that you may find useful, if you're not sure how to use the CLI, is to CLI/lightning-CLI, and it's just help. This will provide some of the commands that you can use. Get info, showed your node info, list funds, which we've shown, new address. You can specify pay to script hash if you wish. List funds, which you're familiar with. So one of the things now that we want to do is connect to a node. So we have funds in our wallet. We need to create a payment channel, but we need to find a node. So there's a few different places to go to. You can use a Lightning Map Explorer. I like 1ML. There is one I think it was called BitBruno. Taking a little bit. So there's BitBruno. They have a large channel count. They have about 8,000 capacity. So if we go to bitbruno.com, so I want to establish a channel with them just because I know for sure that they have a Lightning node up and they also accept payments. So rather than going to Blockstream store and purchase some products, some stickers and things like that, we can open a direct channel with them. And then we can also do a donation. So I'm going to do a small donation to BitBruno. So the command to do that is connect. So first we need to find, I believe this is their payment network. So this is their public key, and then there's their full address. We're going to copy this. Oops. So again, we're in the Lightning directory. It's CLI/Lightning CLI. And it's connect. We're just going to copy in that. Now, when you copy in that address, you need to remove the @ and you also need to remove the colon for the port. That's it. Want to see if we're actually connected? Now we can use the list peers command. So it shows that we're connected. So now we need to fund this channel now that we're connected to them. And again, this transaction is going to require a fee on the Bitcoin main chain. So I'm just going to control there. The command for that is fund channel. Now we need that node ID, but we can remove the IP address and port. So we're going to fund the channel, and you specify the amount in Satoshis. Actually, before I do that, I'll show you how much funds we have. So we have about 650,000 Satoshis in this wallet. I'm going to create a payment channel of 550,000 Satoshis just to make things easier. So it's 550,000 Satoshis. That's it. So there's the transaction ID. There's the channel ID. So again, you'll have to wait 4 to 6 confirmations for that to be confirmed on the Bitcoin main chain. And in the meantime, if you want to, we can copy that transaction ID. Let's go to SmartBit. This is just one Explorer. You can do this on your own full node if you'd like, but this is a little easier. So once you get to SmartBit, let's go up to the Explorer up here. Copy in your transaction ID. It'll show that we have 0 confirmations from this wallet, and we're transferring 550,000 BTC. This is going to create a multi-sig address, and then once this transaction confirms, we'll have our first payment channel and we can begin to use Lightning. So I'm just going to pause this video and then we'll come back. Okay, so now that we've waited some time, allowed some blocks to confirm. So we're going to refresh this page. Should have at least 4 confirmations by now, I believe. So it shows that we have about 4 confirmations. So that was the transaction ID we used. I'm just going to clear this. This time we're going to use list peers. This should show our open channel. The channel is normal. There's the address we're connected to. And we funded it with, this is a millisatoshi, but 550,000 satoshis. So I should show you a few commands here. To close a node gracefully, you don't want to just disconnect from a node. To close a node gracefully, it'd be close. And you use the channel ID that you're connected to. So do list peers. There's the node ID that we're connected to for BitBruno. So the command, if you wanted to close this gracefully, would be close, the channel ID, and then you would end equal true. Hit enter. That'll close the channel gracefully. There is a fee to do that, but we don't want to close the channel just yet. So we're going to show a couple of options here. BitBruno does have an option to donate, so we're going to try doing a donation quickly from the command line, and then we'll do one once we install Spark Wallet. For a BitBruno site, we're going to make a donation. We'll just make it small. Since we're paying with Bitcoin Lightning, only would be about $2. So we'll specify $2. I'm going to click pay. BitBruno should generate an invoice, and then from here we're going to choose Lightning. So this is what we're going to need to pay. I'm going to bring this back up. So I'm going to copy this. So there's the Lightning invoice amount. So that's copied. Before we pay the invoice, as the clock's timing down, we need to get a route for this payment. So the command for that, get route. We needed to decode the pay. And then we need to enter in our Lightning invoice. Here it's going to tell us the millisatoshi that we need. So millisatoshi is sub-satoshi. This is what makes Lightning Network so wonderful, is that it allows you to use micropayments. Once we've decoded our pay, we need to get a route and specify the amount in satoshis. So that command is get route. We have to enter in the node ID. From BitBruno. And then we need to specify this amount in millisatoshis. So we can copy that amount. And with the risk factor, I just use 1. There's different options. I'm not going to go into the different risk factors. So we've decoded our pay, which was this invoice. Let's provide us our invoice details with the amount of millisatoshi. And we're going to use a get route because we need to find a payment route to pay this with the amount in satoshi. The risk factor of 1. And hit enter. So now we have our route. Now we can pay the invoice. The command for that is just pay. Want to pay the invoice? I know this is a little bit tedious on the command line, but trying to screencast this at the same time is a little bit tricky. Oh, I have some failures. There we go. You see how instant that was. The invoice has been paid. Failures, it shows nothing. The invoice is done. It was almost instantaneous. So you've seen as a quick demonstration just how quick that was within a second. Quicker than the page could refresh. It's pretty convenient. So now we're going to install Spark Wallet, which this is hosted by BTC Pay Server. Spark Wallet is a front end that you can run on your mobile device. But first we need to install it on our C Lightning node. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go back to BitBruno. So we just made a payment from the command line, which is again quite tedious. However, we're going to install Spark Wallet and then we're going to do another quick donation at BitBruno. So now we're going to install Spark Wallet on our C Lightning node. This will give us a graphical front end. It runs on mobile or on your desktop via the browser. The nice thing too with Spark Wallet is that you can use like a mini PWA, which is a progressive web application. Hopefully I'll be able to show you how to do that. I won't be able to screencast my mobile device obviously, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to bring back up the terminal here. This is, you can get these instructions from the GitHub. I will have them in the link in the description down below. For the time being, just going to change directory to our home directory. And we need to run a few commands. First, we want to use apt to update our node or our version of Ubuntu. Right, and we need to install curl. Now this is the instructions here for Ubuntu 16.04. 18.04 should work fine as well. Command for that is sudo apt install curl. And you need to install the correct version of Node.js. For Ubuntu 16, it's this command. And then we're going to install Node.js. It's fairly lightweight and it's fairly fast, so this shouldn't take too long. Now to the command, I use the quick version of the command to launch. All the instructions again are here on the GitHub. Everything you need is here. And then we're going to get down into the desktop app. To launch Spark Wallet, you need to specify your IP address of your C Lightning node, which in my case is, it ends in .56. If you watched part 2 of my video on setting up the C Lightning node, you'll see what network configs I'm using. So it's npx spark-wallet-i 192 your IP address. This will generate by default a username and password, and it'll output it onto the screen. You can specify your own username and password if you wish from the command line here, but in this, just for a quick example, I'm just going to launch this. It should detect our C Lightning installation. And you can see here where it generated a username for us as well as a password. And it's telling you to use your web browser and go to this address. Now, because we ran this from SSH, ideally again, just like C Lightning and Bitcoin, our Bitcoin full node, we should run this from the console. So I'm just going to kill this here. I'm going to go to our console. There's our terminal for C Lightning. We're just going to let that run. We're going to bring up another terminal. Being as we already installed Spark server from SSH, we don't need to do it from here, but we can launch the same command. So it's npx. And you specify your IP. And you see each time you run this command, it'll generate a new username and password for you. I'm just going to copy this to my other screen for a moment. So you're going to use that IP address that was told to go to. Oh, I need to specify the port. Port was 9737. You'll be prompted for the warning. You can just ignore it. Then we're going to enter in the username with the password. But then you'll be signed into the Spark server. This is your wallet. Again, in Proxmox in the console, that's just running in the terminal all by itself. But now you can save this address and provide you either use a password manager to monitor your passwords. You can enter it in there. And you can see how many Satoshis or bits we have. You can toggle this. That's in BTC. We have about $16 left. And the amount in Satoshis. You can see that quick invoice we paid with BitBruno. When we did it from the command line, this keeps track of our invoices. You can also change your themes if you'd like. Down on the bottom. There's multiple ones. You'll also notice down here in Node, there's a link for the node that this is running on, the C Lightning. If you click on that, that'll open up our channels. So this is your node address. And if you click on channels, we only have one. So the more channels you have open, the more they'll be listed here. You click on one of these, you can close the channel from here. We're not going to do that at the moment. But you see how this was fully funded with 550,000 Satoshis. But because we sent a small tip to BitBruno, this is showing how much is receivable. So this will deplete the more you spend. And obviously the more channels you have, they're like little gas tanks, they'll all start to deplete. So we're going to go back to Spark. Now we're going to go back to BitBruno and we're going to use our web wallet, our Spark server wallet. This time we're going to give BitBruno $5 because I think he deserves it. I'm going to generate an invoice again. And this time we're going to pay with Bitcoin Lightning. We're going to copy that invoice. I'm just going to drag this off to the side. Make this wallet a little smaller. Now we're going to pay. So we're going to pay this invoice. So we're going to hit pay. I'm going to copy in. I'm going to decode the request. And what it's going to ask for to confirm if we want to pay BitBruno, that amount of Satoshis. Click pay, and then watch how fast this payment gets received. It's instant. It's instantaneous. Very nice. Very nice. And now you'll see that we have multiple invoices. So from a minute ago, we paid BitBruno $5. If you want to see the amount in USD, you can just toggle up there, and it'll show you the amount. There is a small fee to run on the Lightning Network. It's very minuscule though. If you want to request a payment, again, peer-to-peer, you can specify, so say $10 in USD, hit request, and then someone can use their phone, QR code, or they can copy and pay you instantly to your Lightning wallet. So I'm just going to pause this video at the moment. So we've installed Spark, made payments. We've also done it from the command line, which is quite tedious. So once you get started, you probably just want to use Spark Wallet, and we'll finish up when I come back in just a moment. So obviously you're going to probably want to have Spark Wallet on your mobile device, especially on your Android. One of the ways to do that is through like a progressive web app. So you'd need Google Chrome on your mobile device. And in the menu bar, like I said, I can't screencast that unfortunately, but in the menu bar on your Chrome mobile wallet or mobile browser, you're going to click on the menu button. You're going to use your IP address. So I know it's an internal IP address, or you're going to use that IP address with specifying the correct port. You're going to accept the security warning on Chrome and on your mobile device. Once you save your password, your credentials, you're going to click on that little menu in Chrome, and then you're going to add to home screen. And what that's going to do is add a launcher right onto the home screen of your phone. And then as long as you're on your internal network, you can then, your Spark wallet will launch instantly. It'll look just like this, except on your mobile device. I will put most of the description to these links in the description of the video below. I also, being as you're on Proxmox, then you can also install what's called OpenVPN server. And then the nice thing is once you have this little app on your phone, provided you have a lock on your phone, you can run OpenVPN. You can VPN into your home network where your Bitcoin Lightning node is, your Bitcoin full node, and your Spark server, and you make transactions. When you're done, you can disconnect from the VPN on your mobile device if you'd like, and at least then you have an extra layer of security. So you're not using a web wallet. You're in control of your own private keys and of your own wallet. You're just going to tunnel into your home network, make your payments, receive payments whenever you want, and then disconnect, and you're clean. So I could continue to go on, but I want to keep this video a little bit shorter. I hope this was helpful. And the next video I want to do is setting up BTC Pay server. And hopefully down the road, Libra Patron, which is going to be, rather than having to go to Patreon, you can host your own. And with BTC Pay server, accept Lightning payments, Bitcoin payments, Litecoin. There's a plethora of cryptos that you can accept on there. So I'm still working on that, trying to work out some of the kinks. And again, you would install that on your C Lightning node with your Bitcoin full node fully isolated. So this concludes chapter 3, and welcome to the Ultimate Bitcoin Lightning node. I hope it was beneficial to you, and looking forward to doing some more videos. Take care.